to my channel. My name is Leanne and I'm an interior designer here in North County, San Diego. And today, this is part 2 of an ongoing holiday series that I'm going to continue to add to in the upcoming years. So definitely subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you're notified as soon as a new video drops. Today's video is all about creating a salumi board, and you may have already heard about this, you may have not. Salumi is actually a representation of cured meats, and I know that charcuterie is definitely a term that's utilized so much recently, but that's actually a French term, and it's meant to display cooked meats. So today we're going to be using cured meats, and I'm 100% Italian, and so this was very reminiscent of my upbringing with the massive holidays, with tons and tons of people, with all of the cured meats, really good cheeses, the brined vegetables, all of those great things. And I just wanted to share all of that with you today. So to start out, I'm going to be using this beautiful natural wood board that I purchased recently at World Market. I'm going to link it down below if you're interested. It did come with a rustic embellishment here on the handle, but I actually cut that off and replaced it with this beautiful silk ribbon that actually has wire in it. And I prefer ribbon with wire because it's just that much more easy to manipulate. So I also think it really goes very well with this decor. So that's that. If you don't want to purchase a new board, definitely look around your home and see if you have a chopping board. Any type of beautiful tray could definitely work, or even I've seen people just roll out craft paper across their table and just build off of there. So definitely, like I said, be creative. Don't feel like you have to go out there and purchase new things, but this is a board that I really wanted to add to my home this year. So the next thing that you want to consider is additional storage on top of your board. And the reason for that essentially is because you're going to be incorporating things that have a little bit more liquid base to them and don't necessarily hold their own form on their own. So things like small ramekins will definitely do the trick. They'll add visual interest and dimension, a little bit of height. I actually have these measuring cups lying around that I purchased from Target, and these measuring spoons, which I'll probably use for serving later. And I also have these cookie cutters laying around, and I think that although they're a bit unusual, I think they're obviously very festive, and again, it's just a matter of looking around your own kitchen to find things that you already have that you can definitely utilize. Your first step is going to be to take your cheeses out 30 minutes to an hour prior to your event. So when you're selecting cheeses, you want to select a hard cheese, a soft cheese, maybe something in the middle like this brie, which is always popular, and kind of like a wild card cheese. And this one is a truffle cheese imported from Italy, and I love this combination. When I'm putting together a board, just like any other design, again, I am thinking about color palette. So of course, again, I am bringing in the black and white. I love to use natural wood in all of my designs, and then of course, red and green. And you want to make sure that you're selecting seasonal produce because not only is it relevant, but it's also much more cost effective. So there's that. And I'd like to add this goat cheese, the herb cheese. It's so beautiful. It has a nice contrast of green and ivory. The next thing I'm going to do is add this measuring cup full of honey, because you always want to add something a little extra sweet. And this measuring cup is going to be perfect for my green olives. They're actually Castelvetrano olives, which are becoming more and more popular now. And these are pitted specifically, but they also come with garlic cloves inside, so I definitely recommend that option as well. So the next step is to add your cheese, and I'm going to just find some space here that allows for these big chunks as well as slices. My next step is to fill in the crackers because they take up a lot of space, so I just want to make sure that there's enough room to start. So I'm going to use these brioche toasts, which are perfect for the bruschetta that I made earlier. And again, the good thing about this is that there's no wrong way to do this, so if you need to move things around, you definitely can. I really like these lighter tone crackers. I think they really pick up on the light wood tone of the board itself. And I'm just going to sort out these broken ones. I'm I'm gonna start incorporating more marinated vegetables, and for us as Italians, there's no holiday that ever occurs without marinated artichokes. So the thing with these is they're quite oily on their own, so you just wanna make sure that you dry them off a bit, pat them dry on a paper towel, that should be fine. And just strategically place the artichokes. Another brine vegetable that we always had at every holiday were pepperoncinis, and I've selected all the ones with stems so that they're easy to grab and go. And I'm just gonna put them right over here next to this Parmesan. One thing I'm noticing is there's a really large gap over here, and I probably need a little bit more space over here for meat, so I'm actually gonna swap these out, which is another great reason to use these small plates so that you can easily switch things around and make it fit just the way that you want. The next step, which is probably the most important step, is to add your cured meats. And for this, I've selected a salami, a capicola, and prosciutto. And growing up, we actually, oftentimes at every holiday, would wrap slices of melon with prosciutto. So if you haven't tried that yet, I definitely recommend it. Today I didn't end up doing that because the melon has a more orangey hue, and I was just looking again to stick with the red and green. And all I'm doing here is just taking the salami and folding it in half, and then folding it in half again. It's very, very simple. And it makes that really beautiful ribbon texture. Gives it a lot more dimension. Okay, let's try the capicola. And doing the same thing to fan. All right, let's take some of this prosciutto. My family used to call it prosciutto. I'm not really sure why. I'm sure it's just a certain type of dialect. So sometimes I don't say it correctly, but who knows. I'm just gonna actually roll this up just to, again, give it a little bit of a different look here as compared to the other meat. So I'm gonna slide that in. Let's go ahead and curve these little roll-ups. The more movement you can create, the better. I have to be honest, I've actually never done this before, so you and I are learning at the same time, which makes it really fun. So I'm looking at my board, I definitely want to add a little bit more green, so I'm going to use these tiny pickles, and I would love to pronounce the name of these, but I will probably botch it, so I'm just gonna not do that. But all I'm doing is just layering pickles upon pickles. Now that we pretty much have everything on the board, the only last step is to add some crunch and then accessorize. Even with food, you accessorize. So let's go ahead and add these pistachios, my absolute favorite, and also my son's now. He has great taste. And all you're doing is simply filling in gaps here. Wherever you see a hole, you can just put a pile. And then to balance those out, I'm going to add cashews on this side. And I'm noticing again, I do need a little bit more green here, so I think I'm going to pull down these olives. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit extra red here with these fresh cranberries. And one thing that you could also do is sugar the cranberries. I didn't actually do that this time around, but I will link a recipe in the notes below just so that you can do it if you'd like. It just gives it that a little extra flair. Basically, you want to make sure that your board is in a spot where you're not going to end up moving it, because it can get a little crazy after a while. With things rolling around, you definitely don't want that. Let's go ahead and add this last layer. The last thing that I want to add are these measuring cups so that my guests can go ahead and serve themselves easily. This will be perfect for the honey. So there you have it, my very first Salumi board and possibly your very first Salumi board as well. I absolutely love how it turned out and I definitely hope that you've been inspired today, and as always, thank you so much for watching and I will see you in the next video.